So there folks, welcome back to Towns with Charon and Velerious.
Hello everyone.
Hello Velerious. I am unpausing Derpsville and I'm going to continue with the dodgy roofing, basically. There's still a piece over there somehow. I don't know why it's like so high up, but it's on level 4 for some reason. Someone's actually put it in the sky. But hopefully they'll just relay it as we go. There is a merchant and we need some stone. So let's get a bit of a stone mine going on, sort the merchant out.
Did they mine it off from last episode?
Yeah,
Wow.
they did. We'll get all this.
That barbarian. Hey guys, been for a wander.
It's just barbarian around. Let's also take out like all of this. There we go.
Sure, are you sure?
Yep, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
I am 100% sure. Merchant. It's just food. Literally just food. Should I sell a bread?
Yes.
Just to get rid of him.
That's the main point of the
He's
food
come
merchant.
all the way to Derpsville and he's going home with a bread.
He's really annoying, that food merchant.
Yeah.
It's like, early on he's probably really helpful.
Yep.
Although he's still quite pricey.
He's gone. That's it. He's gone.
He's gone.
He's done. Fuck you.
Massive gun.
massive whips. Right, let's get some roof.
The broken
So,
variety.
Steam sale, still going strong for areas. Some more fantastic deals going on. Oh my god, we got Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was half price.
This episode will totally be out after the Steam sale.
Oh yeah, it totally will. But still, I think it's worth mentioning what sort of games we bought, because some of these may make their way into the channel.
And this was a really good Steam sale, Sharon. Do you remember all the cool stuff I got on the last day? Yeah, that was amazing.
Well, the last day for us is tomorrow, I think.
I'd imagine. I think it's 21st, it says on the Steam store, which
Yeah.
would be obviously American time.
Which is, it's sometime during the Monday, but it's like most of the good deals will be done by then. Usually they bring back, don't they, the best-selling ones for the last day.
Which is totally going to be Dragon Ball Z
But yeah.
Xenoverse.
Got Dragon Ball Z, got Massive Chalice. Oh, that looks good.
Just to correct as well, last time I said I wasn't sure that the Lost Chapters were in Fable Anniversary, and they indeed are.
Yeah, you've been playing Fable
Indeed.
quite a bit, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm trying to finish it again. I wanted to finish it, before we got into another game.
Yeah.
But it's kind of not worked out, because now we've got onto another game.
I don't think I ever actually finished the original, I think I got near the end and then got bored and just sort of gave up.
We'll put it this way. This is how long
A bit
Fable
like
is, right?
Darksiders.
I must be about 75% of the way through.
Yeah.
I've been in jail and everything. I've come out of it. I now need to find Jack and kill him. And that's pretty much it, right?
Yeah.
And it's roughly taken me about 10 hours. But that's with me, gaining loads of shit to do loads of stuff that I just wanted to do personally. Like getting the sword out of the stone, which requires you to max pretty much all your stats. Because when you first attempt to get the sword out, after you first attempt it, you have to then raise your strength by 3, your health by 2, and your toughness by 3.
Yeah.
And if you do it, when you're like 1 away from the top, you have to just get the top.
Tell me that story about the sword again that you got. It does 194 damage.
I've got this sword that does 194 damage. Attack rate is 0.95.
This goddamn sword. He was so buzzing over this sword yesterday. He was telling me this fantastic story about this sword.
It's because when I first played Fable, it was the first legendary weapon I got. Because I didn't use the internet back then, because if you opened a Chrome window or anything, it would have probably broke Fable more than it was already breaking at that point.
It was pretty crashy. I remember you playing through it and it used to crash like every 20 minutes. And you just have to keep reloading. It was like, oh my god.
And yet I still managed to finish the entire game through that. Because I'm just that amazing.
It just didn't interest me enough, you know what I mean? It was too... I hated the way that you aged up so quickly. You were like an old man by the time you were like a quarter of the way through the game.
The one thing I don't understand about that they've done in Fable Anniversary, which is a bit weird, was I looked at it the other day and it said in-game days past 16, right?
Yeah.
Yet my character is 32.
Yeah.
I started his adventure at 19. I was like, so do I age like every 2 days or something?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's ridiculous.
You just age ridiculously quickly.
Which I can only just imagine is something to do with that bloodline that apparently is the big secret thing throughout the entire thing.
The thing is, though, if they would have been a better game if the aging was more spread out.
I think the other problem was as
Because
well,
I like the idea of a hero that ages. That was quite good.
the game just wasn't that long though, as well.
It was long enough. God, it drove me crazy how long it was. Because it was all very samey. It was always like, go here, kill this, that's it.
I'm almost done. It's been 10 hours. And I've really kind of put the time into it. So when you think about it, it's kind of like if you aged up once every hour,
Yeah.
you'd only be 10 years older.
Yeah.
You'd never get to that old stage ever.
That's true. That would have been a good way of doing it. So the longer it takes you to actually finish the game, the older you are. That would have been quite funny. So it's a bit of a time limit race thing.
And if you turn off the game and come back to it, you get older naturally.
No! Fucking Metal Gear.
I'm still playing this for a week. Come back, you're just a massively old man. No!
Oh, that shit was funny. Oh my god.
Copyrighted music.
Turn that shit off. Looks like somebody left their phone on charge.
Outside.
Just switch it off. Good old mum leaving her phone on. You got it.
Yeah. That's easy.
Yeah, I completely lost track of what I was saying. What was I actually saying?
We're on about Fable and how it was like Metal Gear. And the way
Oh
that you
yeah,
turned it
Metal
off,
Gear.
you'd be old.
If you don't know about Metal Gear 3 Snake Eater, there's a boss called the End who's an old man, and he's quite a hard fight.
Yeah.
And if you can't defeat him, what you can do is you can switch off your PlayStation 2, okay? And if you come back to the fight like a couple of days later, the End has snuck up on you in the meantime and just kills you straight away.
Yeah.
But if you leave it for like a whole, I think it was it 2 weeks without playing? Then when you come back to it, the End has died of old age, and you just sort of like wander over there, and he's just like dead in the forest, just laying down, and you win. That's it. You complete the fight.
But it's funny how if you look on earlier, it kills you.
Yeah.
So it's like somehow he doesn't manage to sneak up on you if you leave it later.
Yeah.
Because he can't find you.
It was the weirdest game mechanic I think I've ever seen.
But it was funny.
It was funny, but it was so pointless because it's like all you had to do was just wait 2 weeks, and you didn't have to do the really hard fight against him.
I got thrown into the jail in Fable, right?
Yeah.
The jail is arguably one of the most annoying places because you lose all your time there, okay?
Yeah.
Because every year, the warden, on his birthday, races the prisoners and then takes the winner into his office to recite poetry to them.
Okay.
During the reciting poetry, you have to go behind him and sneak a peek at the code for his diaries.
Right.
In one of the diaries, he's hidden a key.
Okay.
And there's like 3 diaries. Went to the first diary that was red, right? Because there's a red, a green, and a blue. And I was like, well, obviously this must have some significance. And I thought, well, red's strength, obviously. And I'd got massively strength. Opened that up. Wasn't that book? I'd spent another year waiting for Warden to have his birthday again.
Wow.
Then had to race round, right? I'm sat in there. Red book's open. The blue and the green one's
How
left.
long does a year take then?
An actual year, as far as I'm concerned. When you come out, all your houses are done and everything.
No, but I mean, how long does a year take? How long do you have to actually just wait in prison for?
Oh, no, it's a cutscene.
Oh, right.
But at the same time, your character ages.
So you'd have to just sit there for an hour or something.
That'd be ridiculous. No, but your character still ages during that time.
Right.
So this is putting you forward an entire year.
So you get even older and older and older.
And then the second time I went in there, I was like, right, there's a blue and a green book left. I was like, now logic it takes, I take the middle book, which is blue, and then go the bottom one. Because I thought it could be the middle one. Because you know they'll always think you'll have the middle one
first. But if you put the poison in the cup in front of me...
Well, then I discovered, I thought, maybe these game devs are such massive bellends that what they've done is they've thought, well, fuck it, we won't put it in the middle, which is obviously going to be either the first or second choice. We'll put it in the bottom one. And I took the bottom one and was like, oh, I win! Got out of there. 2 years I spent in that jail. And then when I got out, he gave me back all my items, and I had a chicken head on.
2 years in Fable jail.
Fable
For
jail.
Velerious, the chicken kicker. You kicked any chickens, Velerious?
Yes, there is a game where you kick chickens. I've been playing that.
There was that, they had that in the second one, didn't it? Where you could just, like, kick chickens.
Yeah. You don't get the game one now, though.
I thought you did.
No.
I thought it was, like, some sort of competition. Chicken kicking competition.
In the first one it was.
Oh.
And it actually has a guy who, when he speaks about it, goes, welcome to the chicken kicking competition. And he, like, proper speaks like that the entire time you're speaking to him. You have to help him at first because there's a ghost on his beach.
Oh, yeah, I remember the ghost bit.
I took the evil part as well, because you go to this ghost, he's like, I be a sailor, a pirate, some may call me. I've kept some money aside from my wife, and I want you to go give it to her. And you go dig up this money, it's like 500 gold.
Yeah.
And if you give it to her, he gives you the location of a sword.
Right.
Right? The other option is you dig up this, you go kill his wife, look up on the wiki where the sword is, and go dig it up. Which gives you billions of evil points, and you just find the sword naturally.
And you are playing through as an evil guy, aren't you?
Oh, yeah. Although I can't get my horns any bigger, because I keep fucking donating to charity.
Why?
Because if you traders don't trade with you properly.
Oh, yeah. You
Fucking
did have that
traders.
problem where you killed all the traders at the start, and they just jacked up all their prices.
And that guy kept beating up, he just kept raising the prices.
It's like, well, my sword's double price now, because you beat the shit out of me.
I also was 100% scary at one point, right? Because I had, like, you know, a Mohican on and such, and dark armour and all this. I just looked really scary.
Yeah.
Every time I went to a shop, it was like The Sims, where you have the robot and they go, ah, no matter what they're doing. So every shop I went in, they went, ah, and wouldn't sell to me. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I had to go into a barber and wear the funniest shit.
That fucking
so they
Simbot.
just sit there laughing at me.
That was EA in a nutshell, that.
Simbot.
If you guys, I mean, I assume people have played The Sims 3, but if you haven't,
Most people
when they
have.
brought in the Simbot, you could have a Simbot in your house, just a robot. One of your guys would build it, and then he would live there as a member of your family. The only problem is they coded it so that every time somebody sees a Simbot, they stop what they're doing, clear their action queue, and then perform a "oh my god, a Simbot" emote, which is basically them freaking out. But then they don't resume their queue because they've cleared it, so they just go do other things. So the problem is, even if this Simbot has been living in your house for the last 20 years, through 3 generations of your family, the kids will still wake up in the morning, go downstairs, the school bus will come, they'll start to walk outside, see the Simbot, freak out, go sit on the couch and read a book, and miss school, or work, or whatever else they're meant to be doing. They'll never eat again because every time they're cooking something, they'll see the Simbot, forget what they're doing, and just leave it on the side, half-cooked.
Which is to say what happened in Fable and why I couldn't get anyone to sell me weapons. I was just like...
It was so retarded, and it took them so long to do anything about it.
I do like games that allow you to be evil, though. I think that's the one thing many games don't do.
I think it's good when the game allows you to actually be evil fully, not like just...
You should have that freedom of choice of if you want to be a complete dick or not. So, like, if someone says to you, go do this quest and bring me 3 flowers, I like the idea of just going, no.
I quite like games that make you pick difficult choices.
Yeah.
And The Walking Dead, for example, is one that I like because of that, because there's always, it's always difficult, some of those choices. And for the same reason, I liked the first Witcher, because on that, you had to basically choose, as you got towards the end of the game, whether you were going to side with the humans, the non-humans, or remain neutral, because you were a Witcher.
Mm.
And no one is in the right. Do you know what I mean? It's no one side is clearly the good guys and the other side is clearly the bad guys. It's like, they both want what they want for the right reasons. They've both done some dodgy shenanigans to sort of get there, and it's like, you just don't know who to side with. It's such a hard decision. I actually paused the game and left it for like an hour and a half while I just sat and just mulled over the possibilities and, which way I wanted my Witcher to go in. And then in the end I chose, but it was like, it's been a long time since I've done that in a game, you know what I mean? Where I've had a decision that was so hard, I've had to pause the game and think about it.
Some of the Fable quests, I quite like them because they give you 2 options for doing the quest. Like, number 1 was, guard this guy who's being executed. So that basically the execution can go through as planned, because many of the criminals will come and save him.
Yeah.
And number 2, for 100 extra gold, was, help the criminals save this guy who's being executed. I was like, 100 extra gold. Fuck yeah. Went and killed all the
Considering how high the prices are these days.
When they killed all the city folk, we're like, fuck you, man. There's a trader there. He was like, don't kill me, I'm not part of this. Stabbed him.
Do you remember the Fable 3 music video you made?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was good. That's still up there on the channel. It only got I think it got stuck in 301 limbo. We've got like a whole page of videos, like page 2 of our videos, if you saw their most popular, they're all about 301, where it's just like, they just seem to have got stuck. The 2013 montage is there as well. Every so often I see somebody watch it, and it's like, those views never go up.
Yeah. The only thing I can imagine is maybe someone's watched it like 20 times.
Maybe.
And it's counting those 20 times as well as like if we've ever watched it multiple times. Because you know that we've watched these.
I've watched it a few times, but I tend to watch it off my hard drive, so I'd have to wait for it to buffer.
Well, I have to watch it offline.
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like YouTube analytics are like the worst ever, because statistics either need to be accurate or they're useless. And YouTube analytics is not accurate.
Exactly.
It's like, it changes from day to day how accurate it is. Like, we had a video, the most recent Town of Salem, had like 6 comments on it, right? And it showed up as 6 comments on my video manager. And then just randomly the other day it showed up as no comments. And then a day later it was back to 6 comments again. So it's just like, how can you take these statistics seriously when they just change on a daily basis?
I think that's the reason why most people don't.
And then it was
they use external places.
Yeah. Well, then I was thinking about our 301 stuck in hell sort of thing. And I thought, how does that affect like the bigger YouTubers? Because like Hat Films, you know their Jon Snow video.
Yeah.
I've watched that about fucking 40 times.
The thing is, it has to be unique views.
Yeah.
And imagine how many people would watch it though.
Probably a lot.
Now you won't be tracked a second time
No,
after the 300.
but I'd imagine it probably peaked at some point, and after that, most of the views will be reviews. Do they count?
There'll be some that trickle in. No, it won't. But some will trickle in afterwards as well. Because as people become new to the channel, they'll go, "Oh, what's this? Jon Snow? Jon Snow!"
Because it's like YouTube actually encourages you to re-watch videos. Because it always, like pretty much every day I log on and it's like, "Hey, do you want to watch that Jon Snow video again?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay then."
Don't talk to me about that. Jesus Christ, how many times I've got drunk, right? Watched loads of Disney songs because I'm drunk, and then YouTube the next morning goes, "Hey, you want to watch more Disney songs with me?" And I'm like, "No, YouTube! Oh my god,
no, YouTube! I was drunk."
It's like, YouTube, do you not understand the premise of when I was looking for all these Disney songs? I was looking for porn at the same time. I was drunk. I don't have any kind of motor skills. That's a weird move.
I can't tell which fucking thing I'm on here. It's so complicated.
It's so broken.
Right.
It's the one in front.
But is it? That says air.
Yeah,
so that. Ah, yeah, there we go. Is that the...
Yeah, they're already there. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah.
They're the doors.
God, that's hard. There we
go.
But
yeah, it does it all the time. YouTube needs, right, to figure out what people watch at different times during the day.
Well, the thing is, I mean, they pretty much admitted there's no way to fix YouTube. Now they've launched the whole YouTube gaming thing. It's like, that's pretty much like, well, you know, YouTube was never good for gaming. It's never going to be good for gaming. Here you go. Try this instead. You say that, but it's like,
have you seen it yet?
No, I'm not even going to look.
Exactly.
I'm so uninterested.
The reason why it looks interesting is because it's a heart when you first got it now, because there's nothing there. And when you click individual bits of the heart, it does game references. One of them turns the heart into a square, separates out, and goes, "Have a seat by the heart."
As I said, I was pretty disappointed that they didn't even manage to make a single gaming reference on the day of launch.
Already made tons on the website, though.
But it's like, you know, they tweeted... what did they tweet? A new player is here or something, or a new player has entered the arena or something like that. And I was like, as if the sort of the immediate go-to would have been a new challenger appears. The old Street Fighter, you know,
new players entered the arena though could be from another game that we haven't played.
Well, maybe, but they missed
one of these new ones.
What was probably the best excuse. You know,
the thing that I find stupid is the fact that this gaming channel thing is not going to be a gaming channel for adults. It's going to be a gaming channel for children, and you know full well it is going to be because they're just starting to release the YouTube app for children.
I don't see how it's going to be any different to Twitch. It's like Twitch already does that.
Well,
why have another one?
The difference is going to be, number one, you won't be able to use music, because the videos will be archived, most likely, so that's it, you fucked.
Which is the same as Twitch.
Number two, I would imagine all gaming videos go on there, so if you have a gaming channel, you now migrate over to there.
I'm not migrating, fuck
now,
that shit.
Obviously, that won't work.
I've learned from experience, when you migrate, people do not follow you.
Yes, that won't work.
You migrate and have to start again, unless you've already got millions of viewers, as well, in which case you're fine.
Not being funny or anything, but it's a gaming channel.
Yeah.
How many gamers do you watch that do just gaming content? The Yogscast do adverts and things like that. PewDiePie does his little blogs.
It's still mainly gaming things. Thing is, I watch non-gaming channels as well. I would rather have all my shit on YouTube, because I go on YouTube and I've got my gaming, I've got my maths, I've got my science, I've got my linguistics. You know, all the stuff I'm interested in is all there, right there for me, in my feed, my music.
But at the same time,
the
what
whole
I'm saying
lot.
Is, people don't just do gaming.
I don't want
nowadays.
a separate channel to watch gaming on. It's like if the Yogscast stopped doing YouTube and moved over to YouTube gaming exclusively, I probably would just continue watching YouTube because it's like,
look at Markiplier.
Why not?
Markiplier does primarily gaming, right?
Yeah.
But also does sketch shows.
Yeah.
Sketch shows won't be allowed on YouTube Gaming by their actual reasons. It is meant to be gaming.
So you have to be just specific gaming. So you won't be able to do like, you know, like the Yogs when they did the Assassin's Creed thing in France with Marcel Tubster.
It's a sketch.
That was brilliant.
Even funnier is the fact, right?
Epic.
They've started this YouTube Gaming.
Yeah.
What's it going to solve?
Plus,
Nintendo won't let you go on it.
Is it just video gaming or can you do tabletop?
Don't know.
You know what I mean?
Because
there's that as well. Well, not tabletop similar. I was thinking more along the lines of Yogg's question, like live action tabletop.
You probably can't do that because it's not a real game.
Well, there's somebody else that does tabletop as well, isn't there? The one that does it with celebrities.
Can't remember. But I was going to say, have you heard Nintendo's new thing they did as well?
What
Where
Nintendo done?
now Nintendo YouTube channels have to be just Nintendo. Your account will be taken down if it's got nothing other than Nintendo on
Wow.
there. You also have to be verified every single video that you put up there.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't make a business out of that, because the verification apparently is going to take a certain amount of days. So in order for us to film, like, Towns, right, if it was a Nintendo product, we would have to film this, like, 7 days before it.
Yeah.
We'd have to check it off ourselves with 5 days to spare to send it to Nintendo, for them to check it, send it back to us, for us to upload it.
It's stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
But, you know, it'll come back to haunt them, because eventually they'll go the same way Sega did. You know what I mean? Sega proved back in the day that if you don't stay up with the times, the gaming market is fickle. And it's like, you can go from overnight from being like, you know, one of the 2 top companies, because at the time it was Sega and Nintendo. That was it.
Yeah.
Those were the big boys. That was what gaming was. And then, literally, boom, Sony and Nintendo. Sega? Who the fuck is Sega? Just overnight, just gone. And it was like, what the hell? And that's how quickly it can happen. And THQ were a pretty big game developer. And again, overnight, just like, you know, Saints Row 2 or 3, what was it? Saints Row 3 was coming out. Oh, we're bankrupt. See you later, guys. We're gone. That's it. Thanks for all these years of, and they held the wrestling license for years.
People nowadays, they'll need to realise that if they don't buy these games, they could potentially get them from another retailer or something like that. But people get worried that if their person goes under, they lose all those games. And they don't want to lose those games because they like those games. They're like Sims, right? Let's take Sims for an idea. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sims 4 came out.
Yeah.
If no one bought Sims 4, EA would have shut it down, and most likely the person who made Sims 4 would start again.
Maybe,
on their own,
maybe not.
become independent. There's that possibility they may not.
The thing is, you can never predict what game companies do, because they do weird shit. Like, Squaresoft have announced yet another Hitman game coming out, and this time it's just called Hitman! You have to say Hitman, because it's in capital letters.
Yeah.
For some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe because Tomb Raider was so effective, just being called Tomb Raider. So they're going back to this style of just calling games, right? Just names. But this is like, it annoys the shit out of me, because it's like, what's your favourite Final Fantasy, Velerious?
No.
See, I like 4. You see how easy it is to just pick out exactly which Final Fantasy it is, because they're just numbered. It's nice and easy.
Yeah.
I like 4, 7, 8, and 9, and 1. 1 was quite good. Don't like 2, don't like 3, don't like 5 or 6.
Do you like 10, 10
I hate
2, 10
I
3,
hate 10 2.
10 by 2,
all those weird ones that were brought out. But they've now sort of regressed from doing that to like naming games like, you know, so if I go, I like Tomb Raider, which Tomb Raider? The first one or the other Tomb Raider that was also called Tomb Raider?
I think the reason
and now you've got the same option with Hitman. Do you mean Hitman or do you mean Hitman?
I think the reason why is because when you make a game nowadays, right, back in the day when you made a game, you know if it came out, there's nothing much else on the fucking market. You're probably going to get quite a lot of sales.
What was wrong with the number/subtitle
Well, this is what I'm getting onto.
Like, my favourite Hitman is Blood Money.
If you make it now, right, basically, you want someone to know that your game is going to be better than the shit you released before it.
Yeah.
So you have to either expand on the name that was released before it, or give it a name that makes it sound so amazing.
Or give it a descriptive name, like Final Fantasy Online instead of Final Fantasy 14. Because at that point it was like, which one's the online one again? I can't remember if it's 13 or 14. It's one of those two. They might even both be online. I don't even know.
I think it was online.
But,
yeah,
you know.
But anyway.
That would have been a nice way to use the word online in there somewhere.
But when you look at some games, basically, they just add more shit on the end and then eventually regress back to the original. Because they want to be known for the original again. They want to basically restart the franchise.
This was where I was getting to. Squaresoft, after announcing that, have now, I don't know if you've heard of Tokyo...
Call, please.
No. Tokyo Go, please. That's an amazing
Tokyo
film.
Mew Mew. Tokyo Mew Mew.
No, not Tokyo Mew Mew. What are they calling it? Tokyo... RPG
Power.
Studio or something. It's something ridiculously stupid, but basically it's their new arm that's going to be going back to the glory days of Final Fantasy, basically. Making more sort of... I'm sure they said JRPGs, and I was thinking, by the time we got through to Final Fantasy 7, was it still a JRPG at that point? It didn't feel like
it's become more for a JRPG now.
Has it?
More, like, massively. Because
in my head, JRPGs, I think of things like Suikoden, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 1. You know, the sort of beautifully made 2D, 16-bit, you know, just glorious.
But those days are over, man.
They're not.
I mean, the other thing is as well, you've got to remember, back then, technology was advancing a bit more slower.
I don't like these shitty, blocky 3D things. It's like...
Well, technology was advancing...
JRPGs were better when they were 2D.
Technology is advancing a bit faster now, right?
Yeah.
and which means you have less time to get used to stuff before suddenly it's all thrown in the bin and a new thing comes along. So what you've got to remember is that essentially what it's doing is it looks at those things you had in the past, and you had for like 16 years, and you loved them.
Yeah.
Then brings out a new game that's absolutely shit, but you're only going to have it for 4 years.
I mean, this is
then they're going to go on to the next.
This is the problem you have. It's like if you go back to like your glory days, you risk ruining your good games.
It's like
you
consoles.
risk dragging the name through the dirt, like Hitman. Hitman got up to blood money, it was really good, and then suddenly Absolution, and it was like, wow, well, that's killed that then.
But it's like consoles. How much do consoles come out nowadays? It's not like once every 10 years or something. It's like every 3 years they're bringing out a brand new one.
They've been pretty rapid, haven't they?
This is the thing. You don't have time to get acquainted with things nowadays. So people still remember those old days because you got acquainted with things back then.
This is mainly why I don't have a console anymore.
But it's the same with PC games, because things get better graphics, and you get like 3 years of using the same engine, then suddenly, boom, here's a new engine. You got to get used to it now. And it's like, no, don't want to. Or else you'll end up with Ghostbusters, the video game.
I'm going to put this last block in, Velerious, and we're up for time, so I'm going to call it.
Ghostbusters.
We have not got... I feel like we've done a lot of roofing, but at the same time, it's like... There's a lot we haven't done.
It's okay. We've got a few more episodes before we open the dungeon.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to get this done. It's looking good, though. Do you think it's looking good?
It's very nice.
Do you think it looks like a really shitty worker complex?
Yeah. I just wish we could turn the camera.
Yeah.
Whoever made this game was a bum.
Yeah, that's true. It would be nice.
Yeah, he's a massive bum. It's true.
You heard it here, folks. If that guy's watching, we're sorry, but Velerious thinks you're a massive bum. I think you're a great guy.
The dev's just watching now. A single tear scrolling down his cheek.
They call me a bum. Go on Twitter, fucking leave some sort of sob story. We'll get loads of hatred. It'll be great.
When I was 12, I bought a game called Towns, and they kept building it. Everyone hated me.
Also, oh god, remind me next episode we'll have a chat about the new Deus Ex.
Oh yeah,
because I'm excited about that.
You're so excited.
But for now, we're going to leave it here. So if you want to say bye-bye, Velerious.
Bye-bye, Velerious.
Puzzle, you are so funny. Goodbye, guys. We'll see you next time.